How to succeed at insurance as a new agent, insurance sales. What do I need to do if I'm brand new? Two things you need to understand. First of all, don't overcomplicate this, okay? So like my world has always been middle American market, term life insurance, return to premium, whole life insurance. People say to me, can you give me the product training? Follow me when I do this. The whole life insurance is for your whole life. Like in the premium stays the same. And the term is if you die, it gives you the face amount, and if you live, you get all your money back. And I say that because as a new agent, don't overcomplicate this thing. There are a lot of people out there, and the reason they want to overtrain you is they don't know how to manage. Those that can't manage will always micromanage. You're gonna call people up. If you're in insurance and you don't have leads, get out. Go to a place that has leads. I don't care where it's at, but get leads. Cold calling sucks, don't do it. If somebody tells you cold calling's good, if you sell to your family and friends, that's it. Quit as fast as you can. You'll never succeed, because you can't sell your uncle a policy every single day, okay? Once you have leads, the magic to being successful as a new agent is understanding that every single person that you're gonna contact, every single one of them needs and wants your help. They need and want your help. See, it's a need-based sales, life insurance. So it's not a want-based sales, a need-based sale. People don't wake up and go like, cool, I can't wait to get my life insurance policy. Like, dude, I need it, so thus I want it. Most sales you've made are, I want it, I really don't need it. That's why you lose the sale, because it's a want, not a need. And I can teach you how to do that, and we'll talk about that in a different video. So in insurance sales, what you have to understand is what are people looking for, right? So the number one thing your client's gonna be concerned about, by far number one, is gonna be, is that agent lying to me? Couple quick things you do to make sure you put them at ease. First thing you do when you sit down with people is tell them that. Go, hey, Tom, Susan, listen, first of all, you filled this out. Let me tell you a little about who I am. Share, you, license. Dude, if they ask how long you've been doing it, it's been 2 days, tell them it's been 2 days. And then go, thank God it's not very complicated and I care deeply about people. So let me get back to where I was. And remember, people ask you questions for one of two reasons. They genuinely want the information from you, or they're trying to intimidate you or trying to mess with you or throw you off track. And if you don't know, ask. You know, I was telling my buddy the other day, I used to drive this H2 Hummer back in the day, old, beat up, and I pull in the gas station. People were like, hey, what's that get for gas mileage? They weren't doing it because they were curious. They were doing it to be a that's all they were doing, right? Just to be an ass. And I'd go, hey, let me ask you something, man. Why are you asking me that? And I'd wait, because there are always guys that ask me. So I'd be like, why are you asking me that? I was just curious. No, you weren't. You were just being an ass. Because you know it's got low gas mileage. Your car gets 800 miles to the gallon because it's worth $11, and I can pick it up and put it in my pocket and walk away with it. And this is a car that requires it. So I'm just telling you, when you're meeting with people, ask yourself that all the time, right? So when you talk to the client, you need to say, listen, here's what you need to understand. No matter what happens here today, here's a few ground rules, okay? Number one, I'm gonna go ahead and get you all the information you need to see what you actually are eligible for. It's life insurance. It's purely based on your health. What you're eligible for, what that's gonna cost you, and the specifics of the products, and none of the products are complicated, okay? You're gonna give me all the information that I need to obtain that decision, and we're gonna make that decision today. So that's my job. I'm kind of like the guy that gets the information over, field underwriter, I get it all over the carrier, I mash it up here, like I do it right on my phone, and I tell you what you're eligible for. But there's a couple things you have to understand about me. Number one, no matter what happens here today, the promise I'm gonna make to you is I'll never lie to you. Anything I talk about today, anything I talk about that's going on, I'm never gonna lie to you. If you can have the coverage, I'm gonna tell you. If you can't have it, I'm gonna tell you. If it costs you, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I tell you it's $147.11 and you get approved, your policy is gonna be $147.11, okay? Because they're concerned, they're not fearful of buying life insurance, they're fearful of being lied to. Second thing I say is, hey, listen, let me explain how I work with clients. My cell phone number is this. If you call me and I don't return your call within 24 hours, I need you to call my office and report me dead, because they're gonna have somebody to manage the file if I pass away. And I call everybody back within 24 hours. If I don't call you back, and I do two things, it's all psychology, right? I'm letting you know I ain't gonna lie to you. So I yank that away. So everything else we're doing throughout this 41 minutes in our appointment, you can't be thinking about me, I'm not lying to you. I'm gonna have nothing to lie about. And number two, I'm here to help you for life. I'm your insurance guy. When you become a good insurance producer is when people call and go, hey, I'm calling about my policy. I go, what company is it with? And they go, I don't know, but it's with Tim. That means you did a good job. Not that they should know their insurance company too, but my insurance guy, Tim, took care of it. That's a sign that you built a relationship and you became a meaningful, specific in their life. And if you can also go in there, because here's the thing, if you're nervous, and listen, I'm not trying to be mean, and please hear me go, I'm just nervous. You're nervous to call somebody that asks for your help, that needs your help, and go out and meet with them when they say yes. I'm not trying to be rude, but your nervousness is gonna be misconstrued most likely, for you being manipulative or lying to them. You have to be at ease. And here's how you get put at ease. If they say things to you to throw you off, you don't ever take them personally. So the wife comes out, opens the door, and the husband comes in. You're the guy here to sell us something. I'm like, yeah, and you don't react. Because once you react, you get emotional, they control you. I go, yeah, not really, but Tom, your wife filled this out. You are Tom and Susan, right? Okay, yeah, Susan filled this out. It was almost like you all were selling us on the fact that you could get life insurance. I'm not selling. I mean, dude, if you buy it, you buy it. You don't, you don't. If you get the policy, I'm not going to retire. And if you don't get it, I'm not going to quit. Tom, I'm just here to do what Susan and y'all asked me to do with this form. And I'm very unemotional. I don't react to Tom. Tom goes, you're just like the rest of the sales guys. I'm like, I don't know who the rest of the sales guys are, Tom. I'm just like a dude in my jeans and my short sleeve polo shirt just doing my job. Kind of like at your job, you just do your job, right? But never take it personally. A man or woman in control of his or her emotions is a very dangerous person in a good way. So that's how you have to set up your appointment. That's how you have to communicate with people. And what you have to do once you've done that and you've level set is you have to take control. If you don't take control, they will. I was a social worker for many years, and people would go, I have bad kids. I'm like, nope, they have bad parents. Dude, those kids are 6 and 4. They're completely off the wall, grabbing stuff, smashing stuff, because there's no structure. Of course they're that way. If you don't provide structure in the in-home appointment, the clients, I don't think are going to smash things. That'd be weird. But they're going to take control, and they're going to start to ask more questions. Whoever asks the most questions wins. So that's what you do, is start to ask a lot of questions. Hey, Tom, before we get started, when you all fill this out, what were you thinking about? And then Tom will tell you. I wasn't thinking about much of anything. Susan, when you figure it, okay, got it. And if they're not talkative, you go, okay, Susan, let me ask you something. Tom, and excuse me, Tom, but we have to be adults, right? Tom dies tomorrow. Walk me through your financial situation. Once you gain control of a situation, they're just going to answer questions. And by the way, most of us want to be controlled when we are not the expert. When I go to my doctor's office, I want him to tell me what to do. I want them to tell me where to sit, where to sign, when to come in. When I come in, go to room 2. I don't expect to go in there and make decisions on my own. And if I had to, I'd never go to that doctor ever again. I'd be like, that was weird. I just kind of showed up. They went down the hall. I started doing my own tests. Like, that was weird. So when you're in this appointment, they're expecting you to take complete control. And if you don't take complete control, they're going to misconstrue it as you being, you're lying, you're nervous. And why would you be nervous doing something they asked you to do? And when they say things, roll with it. It doesn't matter what they say. When I started, I was probably about 40 pounds overweight. I wanted to lose 40. And I was carrying a lot of weight. And I would walk up the steps and they'd be like, sometimes they'd be like, I'm trying to get to you, ask me all this question. My heart's beating and I'm out of breath from walking up the stairs. And they'd be like, there's 4 stairs. I'm like, I know, I'm 40 pounds overweight, man. Like, I never took things personally, and I was willing to roll with them because my job was to protect you. So as a new insurance agent, you need to have the right presence in the house. You need to take control of the situation. And if there's a question to ask. I was sitting with a guy, probably my 3rd or 4th appointment, and he had 2 fingers. The 3 were missing. He had 2, right? Like, actually, these are missing. He had these 2. Mine's broken. It's still messed up from forever ago. But he had 2. And he just kept talking. And I said, hey, man, if you don't mind me asking, what happened to your hand? And he just paused. And he said, waited. I just waited. And that's the other thing. When you ask somebody a question, just shut up. Good or bad, just let him answer. And he said, I had an accident where I used to work at. And he went through the whole story. It took him like 5 minutes to tell a story. And I said, I was just curious. And he says, thanks for asking. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, most people just kind of keep like making weird eye contact. I go, dude, we're born with 5 and you have 2. Why would I not ask where the other 3 are? Like, why would that be weird? And my point is, like, you have to ask, right? You can't overreact to anything. You can't assume anything. And if he asked me something, I'd answer it. I had nothing, like, I am who I am, nothing to hide from him. So it's being vulnerable and making deposits. When you want information from people, you have to give them information. You have to make deposits. So every time you're getting social security number, information about their medical, where they work, you have to share things about how you're brought up. Anything you can share with them that makes you connect. I'd be like, man, how long you all been? Are you, this is my 2nd marriage. Got it. Well, I have 4 kids. He has 4 kids. Okay, so I raised my mom raised us, me and my brother. My parents split when I was young, but I was primarily with my mother, and she worked really hard, worked 3 jobs. Like, I just wanted to connect. If they drank beer and they offered me a beer, I'd say, I'd take one, but I'll be here for 5 days. Where should I sleep? And they would look at me really weird. I'd be like, I'm sober and I don't do well with drinking. It tends to get me like I have massive problems with it. So thanks, but unless you want me to move in, I can't start drinking. And they'd be comfortable because I shared something. So you have to share and be vulnerable. Don't have to go in there and be king of the world. You know, I had a guy one day show me his Little League picture, and I had an agent with me. And he was like 35 years old. He was like, I played Babe Ruth too, do you know? And he was like from 3 towns away from me. I'm like, dude, that's unbelievable. Like, did you play with, and my buddy was like, I knew him. He's like, why didn't you sign him? Dude, why would I ever ruin his parade and go, yeah, I played here, I played there, I played in college. Like, why would I do that to him? Why would I not just be happy for him, be proud? I'm not trying to one-up people. One-uppers suck. You know, I just want people to be happy. So as a new agent, those are things you have to know and have to internalize to be successful.